moving away from me, I try to get his attention back. Good boy.
Okay.
Even though he's not looking at me, good. If he's looking at me, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I reward that. But if he's just looking at the kid over there, I apply pressure. He removes the eyes from the kid and he sees that my legs or whatever, someplace else, I remove. Now his ears are forward. I don't want that. Good boy. If the situation is more intense, for example, I apply pressure and he stands up.
Yeah.
Come on. And he stands up because he's too intense and he wants to face the thing. I just
You can do the figure eight.
I bring him back until I feel that he's a little more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
When I bring him back, I make him sit, turning his back to the distraction, to the thing that was making him fearful or even excited.
Yeah.
Because this would be a good practice if you have like a dog behind the fence and he's barking. It would be a very good practice for him to be sitting, not facing the dog and facing you, and you're rewarding that. Because what will happen is that once you interrupt his eyes on fixating on the distraction, he will start to use his nose as he naturally must do. So he will feel calmer and safer. He will understand that this is a safer environment for him.
Yeah.
And being that you are the one that are doing this procedure, he will gain also confidence on you, not just the confidence on himself. So you will be working on his self-confidence, but also your relationship with.
That's what I've started doing the last couple of days, because he gets so excited every time I pull the leash off. He like can't stop jumping up. He's so excited to go out. But then he knows once we turn the corner, there's going to be all these chickens, and so he's sometimes pulling because he wants to get there. So I will actually stay. I've been staying on my little rugitsa and just doing like the back and forth, just to kind of like calm him down. Yeah, and then we'll go around. And I've noticed just this week when I started that's really seemed to like help him.
It's a good idea when you go for a walk. Don't have the mindset to go from point A to point B. Let's say you want to go like 2 kilometers of walk.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 2 kilometers away from here.
Yeah.
But you just need to be in the neighborhood. Once he's comfortable with that, you push through it, you go further. Once he's comfortable with a new area, you push through it, you go further.
Yeah.
Because if you just avoid these situations, you will get the idea that when he's with you, he can avoid this, he can be overwhelmed.
Right.
And then he gets that mindset everywhere, every new space you go to.
Yeah.
So when he comes to Tirana, for example, or when you go to the States and he's overwhelmed with a new environment, he'll have the idea that you won't control him because you haven't controlled him when he was overwhelmed the first time. But when you have a strategy and he understands that you follow through when he's overwhelmed, you make him calm, you control him, it will be much easier for him to go back into a calmer state than it would be if you haven't went through.
Yeah.
If you haven't went through at all at any time.
Okay.
So the best thing is when you meet a new person is, come on. You're approaching them, even though you know he's friendly, don't let him go sniff the person, just make him sit on your side.
Okay.
Talk to the person for a couple of seconds. Once you see he's staying and he's calm, he's not looking at the person, he's like, I want to meet you, I want to meet you. But he's like, right now, you let him go, sniff, other person can cuddle, blah, blah, blah. If you think that he's jumping or he's about to jump, you can make him go in again, make him calm. So you also put him in a calm position, but you also let him know that I'm not going to let you go up.
There's still the barrier between.
So you let him go calm again, and if you want him to go and meet another person, you let him be, always observing his behavior, and it will be always better if the other person wants to interact in a calm state with him. Again, if the other person is like screaming and doing all these wiggly movements and everything, it will be too much for him probably. But sometimes you cannot control the other people, but you can control him.
Right.
So if you see that he is very excited at that moment, just pull him back, make him sit.
Okay.
Try to explain to them what you want from him, and if he's calmer, you let him. But if he's excited, you bring him back, you make him sit, and he's like crying for it, begging for it, or jumping or barking and everything. It's a sign that maybe it's not a good idea to let him go and do that interaction again.
Yeah.
A good idea, for example, right now, I mean, he's not excited, but he's slightly more excited than he was. So a good idea for me is just to make a couple of movements.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going away. We're still talking. You can hear me. I can hear you.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 or 3 times, I make him sit. He's calmer. You cool. And then you continue a conversation, or you continue walking with the person.